Everyone. My name is Pedro Meyer. My project is called Music for Creators. Take control of your music recommenders. So I've been in music for over 17 years as a songwriter, singer, producer, and I've always been very disappointed with the tools available for musicians to help them on their creative process. So I decided to take action. Have you ever heard of any of these companies? Well, one thing that they all have in common is that the recommending system are all based either on user ratings, similar artists, similar styles, similar genres. But what if we wanted more control over our recommenders? This is where this one comes into play. The goal is to create a recommender that's going to take user input about their own songs and give more customized song recommendations in the end. They can get value out of this in form of inspiration, insight on their creative process, comparison with other artists, among others. The workflow for this project is that I'm going to get my raw database with over 28,000 songs and their features, so the acoustic features and the lyrics. There's going to be an extra step to turn the lyrics into topics. This extra step is called natural language processing. And then those features are all going to get compared with the user inputted data, so to give recommendations in the end. So here are the features we're talking about. The first set of features are the acoustic features. Yes, there's a lot of them, but basically all these are is a way to quantify sound. For sake of simplicity, we're going to focus on 5: acousticness, danceability, valence, energy, and sadness. Let's take sadness, for example. So sadness is a combination of a low valence score and a low energy score. So valence is how positive a track feels. Energy is a perceptual measure of intensity and activity on a sound. If you have both of those in a lower score, you're going to get into the sadness range. This here is the distribution of the sadness score through all the songs in our raw database. It's a feature that goes from 0 to 1, and its mean or its average value sits around 0.13. So for sake of illustration, let's compare the average sadness score for these two artists. You don't need to hear either one of them to imagine that Iron Maiden is going to have a lower sadness score than Taylor Swift based on looks alone. So plotting the average sadness score for each one of these bands, that is exactly what we see. You see the red line is Iron Maiden means sadness score, and it's much lower than Taylor Swift's, which only means that an average Iron Maiden song is much less sad than a Taylor Swift song, which is to be expected. The next set of features we're going to look at are the topic features. So the topic features are generated by getting the raw lyrics and putting it through a process called natural language processing. That's going to take those lyrics and cluster them into topics through an LDA model. So those topics are now going to become a predictive feature to be compared to the user input in order to give a good recommendation in the end. The lyrics inputted by the user are going to go through the exact same process. These are the 5 topics and the most common words in each topic based on this LDA model. So now that we have both of our feature types, we can create a recommender. We have a user input data, we have the loaded data, and then through cosine similarity, we're going to get the suggested songs in the end. So let's say we have this artist here, and this artist has this song. Well, all he has to do is input his lyrics, input the information about the song that he has, and the recommender is going to give him back some recommendations. These recommendations are going to include the name of the track, the name of the artist, the year that it was released, the genre, and the lyrics. He can use this as inspiration or just to further his understanding of his own creative process. And just for curiosity, this is where this song specifically sits on our sadness spectrum, and where an average John Mayer song sits on our sadness spectrum. So the future I would like to get this recommender and make it more customizable, add some features to it, create an explicit filter since there's a lot of curse words involved in some of these songs, and then create a user interface so we can actually use it. I appreciate you guys' time. Thank you for coming and listening to us. If you guys have any questions or any inquiries, please feel free to contact me. Thank you very much.